I finally managed to get my hands on the ever so elusive PlayStation 5. It took me over a year, but I actually got one. Who would have thought these damn consoles would be so hard to get a hold of? I cursed myself out for a whole year for not pre-ordering one when I had the chance, but regardless, I finally got one. Over the span of that year though, I was definitely jealous about the fact I was missing out on games like Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Returnal, to name a few. But there was one game that released for the PlayStation 5 right at launch that I'd been waiting for years, and the fact I couldn't play it day dot was infuriating, and that is the Demon's Souls remake. Now, to my subscribers, it's no secret that I'm a big Souls fan. I mean, all you have to do to find that out is by having a look to my original Demon's Souls and Dark Souls retrospectives. They're some of my favourite games of all time, specifically the games I just mentioned, and after waiting for years and years to see Demon's Souls get a remake, and subsequently, I believe, the recognition it deserved, I couldn't play it as soon as it came out. But as soon as I got my hands on my PS5 and waited a couple more days to get paid again after draining my bank account, I picked up the Demon's Souls remake, and now, well, here we are. It's better late than never though, so now that I've finally played the Demon's Souls remake 1 year later, what did I think? First things first, you may have noticed this is a much shorter video than usual, and that's simply because I've already essentially broken down all my opinions on this game through my retrospective. This may be a remake, but that strictly applies to this game being a complete visual remake, because the story, gameplay, bosses, all that good stuff is very much the same. And since I already have an almost 40-minute video breaking all that good and not so good stuff down, video link in the top right corner or description if you haven't seen it, what I wanted to do in today's video is focus on those visuals, because I think Blue Point absolutely nailed it. Now, I'm going to bring up Halo once more, which I know I have a bit of a habit doing, trust me, but it is relevant, I promise. Visually remaking or remastering a classic game is no easy feat, because you can go overboard. Where some textures or environments may appear simple, what they lack in fidelity, they may have in atmosphere. For example, the mission 343 Guilty Spark in Halo Combat Evolved is dripping in this uneasy, unnerving atmosphere. The mission is very horror-esque, and whilst dated, still gets that feeling across beautifully. What ended up happening with the Anniversary Remaster though is they upped the detail in the environments, made it all a bit brighter, and ultimately they lost some of this mission's magic. That's why I think Blue Point's remake of Demon's Souls is so brilliant, because with a couple of generations between the original and this game, they could have really gone and made many of these great environments, glossed them up to no end, and whilst it would have looked stunning, they would have lost the oppressive atmosphere. And once again, horror-esque tone to many of these locales, and they didn't do that. Not to say the game isn't smack dead gorgeous, because it is just stunning, but I'm saying they didn't lose the atmosphere and aesthetic in the process. Now sure, the gameplay cycle definitely helps add to the eerie, unsettling atmosphere, as you know at any moment you could be ambushed or snuck up on and be heading straight back to the start of an area, now at risk of losing all of your precious souls. But the areas themselves just exude so much character, whether it be the dark, dank medieval castle of Boletaria, the claustrophobic tunnels of Stonefang, the depressing Lovecraftian abyss that is Latria, the fear of traversing through the caverns and destroyed landscape of the Shrine of Storms, or the tense tightropes, unstable environment and thick swamp that is the Valley of Defilement. These unique atmospheres were what made the original locales in Demon's Souls so damn memorable. Even if still I dread heading through the shrine and valley, though the valley swamp is much easier to traverse now that you can actually see. From Software made the most of these locations, and Blue Point with the remake, despite making everything about this game absolutely stunning, still kept that atmosphere intact, and in some instances, better than ever. Latria, for example, is just as terrifying and butthole clenching as always, but that Lovecraftian vibe is taken to a whole new level, making it all the more, I'll admit, spooky, but captivating to explore. Same can be said for the Shrine of Storms and the Catacombs. They took a pretty grey but daunting area and just made it so much more unsettling. Outside of the environments though, these character models are incredible as well. Seeing Stockpile Thomas, the blacksmith, Frake, or Patches actually look like people and moving their lips, I know, low bar, but still, was actually uncomfortably awesome. I mean, Patches just looks even more sus now, but this addition just helps immerse you more in what all of these characters are saying, which as someone who loves these stories is great. The enemy models as well are spectacular. I want to highlight the Reapers in particular though, because wow, did they get a glow up. I mean, just look at them. Makes the shrine even more unsettling to explore knowing these things are out and about. That's really all I have to say about the remake though, because again, all of my thoughts and opinions on the game itself have been said. I still love the game, and I had a smile from ear to ear for my whole playthrough. This version of Demon's Souls is now going to be the only version of this game I play from here on, since this remake is just the Demon's Souls I remember, but now is absolutely stunning as well, with some much improved load times to boot. And for me, that's really all I needed. So if somehow you have a PS5, or if this eventually moves on to the PC like other Sony properties, and you haven't played Demon's Souls before and are a fan of the series, or maybe are looking for a nice entry point, check out the Demon's Souls remake. And if you have already played the PS3 Demon's Souls, you know what you're getting into, just way more visually fantastic than before. It's seriously incredible, and Bluepoint should be really proud of themselves for taking what FromSoft created and beautifully bringing it back into the limelight. Thank you all so much for watching this Demon's Souls retrospective add-on, I guess. I know this was a nice short video, I just didn't want to double dip or repeat myself if most of my thoughts are already out there, you know? More PS5 titles will be getting the So I Finally Played treatment though, so be sure to stay tuned. Returnal is catching my eye, in fact. If you did enjoy yourself, be sure to leave the video a like to let me know, well, you like the video. Comment below your thoughts on Demon's Souls, remake or original. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Go give my socials a follow if you fancy, @MayorHairBear, and I'll catch you all in the next video.